Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today, well, first let me apologize for not making any videos for a while. I've been doing some investments and it's been occupying quite a bit of my time. I have some people who've joined me from Reddit, and I really appreciate for those people who have joined me. But anyway, so I'm gonna go on to this video. So this is a headlight that I had shown quite a few months behind, but I haven't had any time to work on it. So I'm going to explain to you what I did to prepare the installation portion. It's not going to install right away. You have to do what I did here. But before I go into all of that, I want you to know that there's multiple ways to install this. You do not need to install the headlight. You could just make it a turn signal only, you could just make it a headlight only, or yeah, you could do both, which is what I'm intending to do today. So the first thing I did was I had cut a whole bunch of extra wire here. I've only have black wire and I only have a certain gauge. The gauge of the wire here is thicker than the gauge of the wire that actually goes into the light here. The thing is, I couldn't find the gauge of here. I believe this should be in the 18 to 20 gauge range. These are, I believe, a 16 gauge, so they're a little thicker. Hopefully that won't become an issue because there isn't much current being drawn into the LED light here. So what I did here initially is I have a ring connector. This is going to go directly into the ground. I'm using a ring connector because I want the best connection possible. What did I do? So I got a wire here, strung it through. It doesn't have to be this size actually. I had a hard time finding ring connectors here for whatever reason, so I went to Home Depot and this is the only one that they had. So I picked this up and I strung a bunch of wire here over and over again because this was actually made for like a, I believe it was like a 6 gauge wire, so it's like a battery terminal type thing. So in order to make that gauge, I cut a long piece of wire and then looped it a number of times to make it into the right thickness so I could crimp it. I also have it soldered here as well as down here, and then I filled it with hot glue so that way it doesn't get corroded. You don't have to go this far. You could just get the right size ring connector, crimp it down, and then it should be fine. But this also works too if you can't get these kind of things in the right size. So next thing is I extended all the wires here. I put heat sinks in relationship to the color of wire. I used the clear one for the ground, the white one for the turn signal, and the red heatsink tube for the positive. And that's going to be it for here. And so I haven't actually tested the connection out, so what I'm going to do right now is I got my jumper pack, and I'm going to connect the negative to the negative here, and for the I believe this will be the turn, so I'm going to test it out. I'm just going to touch the end of the wire because I'm going to use a wire splitter. I don't need to actually have this end spliced. I'll just split the wire rather than having the end used, but I have it open right now because I need to test the connection out. So right now I believe this should be the turn signal, so I'm just going to tap it and it does work. I'm going to leave it running for a little bit, make sure that there's no overheating issues. And it seems to be fine. Touch the end of the wire, make sure there's no overheating issues. Okay, another thing that we're going to need to look at is the length of the light. And wait, before I go into that part, I'm going to test the headlight portion. So the headlight portion works fine. We're going to leave it on for a while. Okay, so that looks good. So I'm going to tap this into the parking light, and so when I turn on the parking light, that these lights will go on, and the other is going to be tapped into the turn signal, which it should be. So when I have a turn signal going, then the turn signal light will flash. Okay, so the other thing that we need to take a consideration for is the length of the light. If you buy something like this, not all lights can be cut. This one can be cut, and when you cut it, I'm not sure if you can see this through the video, but there are LEDs running straight along here, and you can cut it anywhere in between each LED. So I ordered a 60 centimeter length light. I'm probably going to need to cut this by about 5 centimeters. Make sure that you put the end here back on when you cut it. I'm going to go through all of that when I do the install video, but this is where I'm going to stop here. Only reason is because I don't have any real video editing software. So I'm going to make this in probably a 3-part video, one for installation, one for this portion here, and the final for the actual final product. So hopefully you guys like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to go out and install this right now, and hopefully I'll have the video up and posted for you soon. Thanks, guys.